Not even going to mute like I normally do. Just going to wait. Welcome to Permadeath Extraordinaire, where we are continuing our journey through D&D with Dirt and Quinn. Introduce yourself, guys.
Hi, I'm Quinn. I'm a level 7 psionic mind witch with red and black scaly skin, tattoos on my face, blue eyes, and a really low charisma. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, he's special. And introduce yourself, Dirt.
Dirt here. Character name is Dargoth. He's a level 9 elemental earth priest who got in a little bit of trouble. He got cursed by a dead mad king, and his strength is naturally 17, but right now it's down to 3.
And that seems to be the focus of the quest, getting Dargoth's strength back. Because without it, it's really hindering everything that they try to do.
And my low charisma.
My charisma is probably lower.
Tell us of your recent inspiration from Gerdek, the rock. That would be the deity that Dirt is connected with. He taught you a new spell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit about that spell, would you please? Just so I don't, get caught flat-footed. Give me kind of a quick summary of it.
Basically, I can shape gemstones, adding 10% to their final value. So
Yes.
It takes 1 hour per 1,000 gold piece of a gem to makeshift. So that's pretty cool.
Well, you can spend all your time riding in that sled, recrafting those gems.
I mean, might as well, right?
Yeah.
Now, Quinn, your microphone is occasionally going a little weird on my end. Is that just me, or did you hear it too, Dirt?
No, yeah, it's gone a little wonky.
Okay, so just so you're aware. Well, where were we? Oh, those of you who have been watching previous episodes kind of know where we are. It's a lost and confusing place, Skyfell. Those of you new to the show, just keep watching. That's all I can say. There's no possible way I could summarize everything that's going on in less than 4 hours. And we'd have to call everybody into the room, like the Magpie and Admiral Jeffrey and Wafu, because some things I don't entirely remember that you guys do. You know what I mean? That's the joy. As a referee, I'm kind of loose, as you notice. I'm not in control of shit. I just let you guys kind of wander. Occasionally sweep you where I think you need to be. And yes, I took you to Dargoth's refuge because I figured you guys needed some breathing room. Imagine if you were in that cave right now realizing we have to make a sled. We're in the hills. The hills are wooded, but it's not wood that would be very good for you. It would take you days to put that sled together. What took you a day here? Because all you had to do was go down slope, chop down a couple of big trees, drag them back up slope. That's what you guys spent your day doing. Dargoth didn't do much of the dragging, or the chopping, or the sawing. Saw's too heavy.
That's why he was reshaping all those gems.
Yeah, for free, I kind of gave you guys a workshop that doesn't exist in order to make a sled out of wood that you chop down with the axe. Aren't you glad that was here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it does stand to reason that this was the shrine for a long time. And do keep in mind, Dirt.
Yep.
This shrine isn't specifically Gerdek.
I know.
It's Earth. A priest of another elemental deity of similar nature could vie for this position and use it. So it's just All it is a place where Earth is enhanced. And I guess now would be a great time to pretty much kind of make the note that on this ground, in this little valley here, and in your workshop and in your future brewery,
Yep.
/ shrine / all your opponents are -2 to save versus your magic.
Oh.
Earth magic. Okay, so not every spell, just Earth-based spells. They're -2 to their save. And you get a +2 per dice where applicable. So if you do an Earth-based spell that does damage, say it does 3d6 damage, you would get 3d6 plus 6 because it adds +2 to each dice of damage. You understand?
Yep. And a plus. Okay. So a +2 to all elemental earth. All right.
There may be more. This is just what you felt from being here the few days that you've been here. While Quinn was out chopping down trees, you were just kind of sitting around, thinking, feeling the earth around you, hearing the whispers of the rocks.
And when I come back at the end of the day with my pile of wood, that's exactly what he tells me he's been doing all day. Every day. I think of my...
As he spits out a pebble.
How easy would it be just to leave him here?
That's... who knows? Who knows? Alright, so you guys are looking at probably at least a week to get to the King's Road, and that brings me back to the maps we were discussing earlier. In summary, anybody that may be kind of new to the 2nd edition, or maybe even D&D in general, most city and dungeon maps are done on Square. I won't go into all the reasons, but it made it easier in the old days to map when we didn't have anything but the DM telling us. And some DMs still do that, where they tell you and not show you what the map looks like. We prefer just to show it. Unless there's other circumstances. Anyway, so that brings us around to the fun of Overland. Now, because Skyfell isn't a tremendously developed area, I'm intrigued with the idea of having my personal creativity stretched by the occasional random roll leading to something that could be developed into an ongoing story thing. So, Overland because you can't just guess if they go northwest or northeast, that kind of stuff. On a square, we use the grids instead, and that's for overland movement purposes. So what I wanted to run by you guys as players is we can do day to day and see where it leads us, or I can just try and pre-develop stuff ahead of time. And I can either A, keep it vague, you walk a few days and you go through the valley, or we can map it out a little bit more accurately this way, so that way there's a sense of consistency. And we have maps that develop over time, with a lot of random rolls adding things to it. Like ruins I didn't expect, or tribes I didn't expect. Tribes being anything from humanoids to people. Barbarians to orc hordes, you know, that kind of stuff. So it kind of comes down to we can keep it vague or we can take down more maps. It depends on what kind of game style you guys are looking for. While you think about that, I'm going to go make sure that my little catastrophe is under control, and I'll be right back.
Dude, I like the hex grid system we're going to.
What do you want to do?
Kind of want to keep it vague, because if we do, like, legit maps, that would kind of, I don't know, imply that we know where we're going and stuff like that. I think... Don't you just kind of know the way, but you don't really know the lay of the land? Plus, we're in that fog, so... I think keeping it vague would, like, leave that, you know, fog.
I like consistency, though.
Well, this is your shrine area, so knowing more of the lay of the land here is probably more important than it is to me.
Right. Honestly, I don't really know.
For those of you who might be watching the stream, if we're still streaming, he didn't pause it. I owe it to Dirt to help him remove his curse because he helped me relieve myself of a cursed sword of life stealing that was about to drain my levels. I was not allowed to get rid of the sword myself. Him and an NPC named Blannyride had to essentially poison me and steal away the sword while I was sleeping, spell magic in order to relieve me of the curse. So I definitely owe it to Dirt to get him up there to remove his. He kind of saved me a lot of experience and level drains.
I mean, you weren't proficient in it, so, you know, watching you swing around a very large sword you're not used to kind of looks funny, you know?
Well, what it definitely kept me from being super helpful, considering I couldn't use any range weapons, anything that I was proficient in. God, I don't even know if they would have let me swing a torch around without it turning that sword.
Okay, so I'm back. Now, here's another great reason to go to the grid system. It's very easy for us to go, each grid is 10 foot, all right?
Yep.
And it pretty much is a given that anybody with any kind of thing in their hand, from a dagger to a 3-foot, stick to a long polearm, etc., can control a 10-foot area. Basically make it to where it's extremely difficult to just, get by them. So let's grab a figurine. Dargoth. Let's plop you here on our little grid. And let's make you a little smaller, just so you fit comfortably in the grid. Your hammer is still probably going to interfere with things, but you know how it is.
The hammer's pretty big, so
yeah.
You know.
It's pretty easy to determine where you're facing. Okay?
Yeah.
And for you to rotate your figurine specifically. Now, the reason this is coming into play is the vague kind of, method that we've been using up to this point will, over time, lead to disagreement and occasional argument as positioning doesn't quite match. What you think and what I think become different things because we don't have a solid foundation. We have a vague what you think's happening, what I think's happening. You understand?
Yeah.
As you guys get up in higher levels, etc., you're going to start taking on, like in the movies, 20, 30 orcs will come at you and you'll hack through them. Trust me. You may not believe it right this moment, but yeah. There's a turning point called 10th level. And at that point, everything starts changing.
Okay.
Remember, you can gather up to 200 for loyalists. Some of them will be casual, others will be fanatics. Some may become henchmen, kind of like Magpie has Baldric. Jeffrey has, shit, I forgot his name. He's such Cromwell Drax. Magpie kind of has Dorian as well, although that's his NPC, a lot like the kid is going to fill here. Okay, so going into the ease of this and how it keeps things fucking clear. So let me grab a couple of figurines here. Let's say, we'll just grab this guy. Plop. We scale him up a little bit, of course. And if I'm boring you guys, let me know. But I think you may enjoy the addition of a few rules that'll make things a lot clearer and a lot more tactical. We all love tactical gaming. Okay, so you have 3 level draining whites on you. But you can see where they're coming from. These guys are coming from the front arc. You know what that means?
Yeah.
It means you can see them. And it means you can take direct action against them. And it means you get your full dexterity bonus against them. And it means you get your shield. Okay? We keep it simple. Some DMs will actually try to figure out what side your shield's on. And that'll work against, say, let's say you have it on your right hand. It would work against this guy and this guy. You understand?
Yeah.
But not this guy. We're going to keep it simple because I don't want to go fucking insane, nor do I want combat to take 18 hours instead of the normal 8. So, if you have a shield, this guy, this guy, this guy being in your front, you can use it, and it counts, and you get your full dex. Now, things change. Keep in mind, those 3 in front of you are still there, okay? Thus causing you to be in combat with them. And these guys come running up at the end of a combat round, and you decide that you're going to keep engaging the guys in front of you because, let's say, they have damage and you're trying to bring them down. All right?
Yeah.
But these 3 guys come running up behind you. Guess what that means? Rear armor class.
And
These guys are on your flanks.
mm-hmm.
So they only get a +2, so to speak, as in you still get about half your dex, so to speak. This guy from the back, he's got no dex.
Right.
And that's when things start getting out of control. Now you can be attacked by, as the map suggests here, and the rules match. Let me copy this, and then let's see if we can just make this easy in a way. Okay. 6 level draining whites. Alright. Hope this never happens. Where was I? So these guys attack normally. These guys get a minor bonus. This guy gets the full bonus. Man-sized opponents take 1 hex each, so you could be attacked by up to 6, just like it depicts here on the map. Now, if these guys were small, okay, which is a size category, 2 of them can fit per square. So we may end up having to blow up the scale even more when it comes to combat.
Okay.
All right, but we'll do that on a case-for-case basis. For now, this will be our default scale until it becomes a pain in the ass. So now you could have 2, 4, 6 guys attacking you from the front and 6 from the back. Class Tiny, which is another size category down, and tiny would be things like rats, bats, little things. All right? They can go 4 per. So you could have up to like 12 little scorpions attacking you from the front, and same in the back. I recommend a fireball or a flame strike right on you. You can take it, they can't. Small creatures tend to have low hit points.
Right. Hey, Basco, your mic isn't picking up anymore, dude. Like unplugged or something.
I was wondering why he wasn't talking. Any questions on anything so far?
No.
Okay. I'm going to use this episode, by the way, for the other players to welcome back to. We missed you.
Well, I kept talking. I was like, everyone's ignoring me.
Do you like this? Does this seem a little bit more sensible?
Yeah, I've always liked the hex grid. I've actually kind of wondered how it's going to work in terms of like, well, it should be okay. It should be okay as long as we establish that like the diameter of it is always going to be 10.
Yeah, like I said, it'll be a case for case basis. So in this case, this would be a 10-foot. Okay, so moving right along, and then the different size categories. A large beast. Now that's where it starts getting a little tricky because you can only be attacked by basically one of those from the front to the back. Same with Gargantua. They take all 3 hexes, if you will.
Right.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
However, there will be cases where you may be attacked by up to 4 large because they can come from the left and right attitude.
Yeah.
Which isn't so well depicted on the hex grid, but that, again, is a case-for-case thing, and we'll figure it out probably by letting the figurines. A large guy would take a larger area, and I'm certain it'll compensate for itself. All right, so moving right along. And this is still somewhat keeping it vague and fast-moving. Now, when it comes to movement, let's say this guy gets killed. He's dead. All right? Yay. And you have an opening, and you don't want to lose any more levels from the level-draining whites.
Yeah.
So you decide it's time to move. Okay? Your movement rate, usually default, is 12, right?
Yes.
Okay, a lot of that depends on the dwarves. You'll notice move slower. Their base movement is 9, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have
Should
base
be.
movement on my thing.
Yeah, but it is. All right, because why? Well, they're shorter. Halflings, same problem. Gnomes like Lanny Ride, best just to pick them up, carry them with you, because their movement rate sucks. Because remember, in my campaign world, gnomes are smaller. In most D&D canon, like the core rulebooks, they're about the same size as halflings. They just have a far different physical appearance. They tend to be lankier and they don't have hairy feet. They just have big beards. And they like their noses. Their noses are gigantic. The bigger your nose, the more prestige you have. I once had a character with an 18 nose.
Level 18 or?
That's out of a D20 roll. That's width and length. So he had a fantastic nose and it helped him a lot in his everyday dealings. Okay, so at least with other gnomes. Humans, and dwarves and stuff, not so impressed, but you know. In gnomish society, the nose knows. Literally. Okay. Dargoth decides that he wants to get the hell out of here. Okay? For obvious reasons. It can't be going good for him. So, his movement rate is 12. That's how many grids you can move because it is times 10. So you can move 120 feet in a given round. You might think a round is 60 seconds or a minute. 120 feet in a minute, you might go, that's really slow. And it is, but you're not walking down a sidewalk in daytime. You're either walking in combat, as in somebody's swinging at you and you're dodging as you're going. B, it's dark, rainy, snowy, uneven ground in the cave, rocks, the wide variety of wonderful terrains you always find yourself in when it comes to a fight time. And you can push that. If you look at your character sheet, notice under movement how there's those weird like times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5 things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can go times 2 and do 24 or 240 feet. That's basically, I think if I remember correctly, that's the equivalent of kind of like a slow jog. The 120 feet around is the equivalent of basically a walk. On uneven ground. So, that naturally slows you. Now, each one of those requires a constitution check, or you strain yourself and you could end up either exhausted or in a bad place. So the times 5, hell yeah, you could haul balls. But if you fail that con check, you may get winded before you want to. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And you'll know once you've made the roll and once the round comes. If you fail the roll, you could be in serious problems, depending on how bad you fail it by. There's a margin thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with your base movement, you can move 12. So you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At this point, you either have to make an attack. If this, assuming you have 2 actions per round, which quite a few characters do, you either have to make an attack or commit to the second half of your movement. In this case, you're trying to get out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for a grand total of 12 movement. Now, your illustrious opponents, being slow creatures because they're dead, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we now see the zombie effect. You can outwalk them. Now, they're hungry, so they might push for their fast movement thing. And although they technically don't have because they're undead, they technically don't have a constitution, they don't have a chance of getting winded. Then it comes to a contest. Or, who declares what? So you could declare first that you're going to run away, and I could declare that I'm going to try and keep up with you by going for a faster movement rate. You'll see how this kind of starts translating into gameplay as we go. And you might have a million questions how that works. I would recommend when the time comes, we'll work through it. I'll explain as we go adequately. But it comes down to, generally, if you were trying to flee this area, and you knew that they were a bit slower than you, you would probably want to try and push it. Try and go for the ×2 or ×3. Should I give you an example? Yeah, let's do a quick example. Okay, so let's say, grab a D10 if you would. We're going to assume that you won initiative, and also grab a D20. Quinn, you can play along. Okay, so with this in mind, we're going to assume that you won initiative this round. Things are going bad. You're surrounded by level-draining undead. You want to get the F out. It's an open, snowy plain with, miraculously, no movement penalties. Why? Because any movement penalty I assign to you would get assigned to the enemy. You have to trudge through snow, so do they. So it would balance out. We'll just use default numbers. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if they were like some kind of thing that could walk on the snow, that would change everything. But we'll get into that on a case-for-case basis. Now, you guys decide that you want to get the hell out of here, okay? Because these guys came out of somewhere and fell upon dirt exclusively. Actually, we'll go with 1 on Quinn, 2 on Quinn, 3 come up behind dirt. They snuck up on you guys quietly while you're walking down the road. Now, you want to get out of here because you've realized that they're level drainers and you don't want anything to do with them. It's the guys from that mound come back for their sword.
I never took their sword. Yeah.
Rain looks down to the ground guiltily. I kind of put it in your hotel room. Oh, but anyway, Rain? Moving right along. I
don't understand why you're in jail, Rain.
He asked too many questions around a creepy town.
Oh, someone's knocking on my door. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Admiral Jeffrey has reason to believe that a demonic essence, a tonnery as they're called in D&D now, a creature from the plane of chaotic evil, kind of like the owner, but from a worse place, and a queen, nonetheless, as in like kind of the top of the food chain when it comes to that other place called the Abyss, which represents chaos and evil, chaotic evil. Admiral Jeffrey also has reason to believe that the old man is actually here on this world, walking around. He doesn't quite believe it. Might just be superstition and talk, but there's enough to make him think it might be happening. Now, once Vasco gets back, we'll get into this. But basically, what this comes down to, Dirt, is you're trying to escape.
Right.
Using the movement rules. Now, keep in mind, these creatures have an effective constitution of 18. And they don't tire. You don't have to worry about tiring probably in the span of this, because you can run a number of rounds equal to your constitution. If you do times 5, that counts as like 5 rounds. See how this is kind of easy and quick, but still effective in terms of thinking how you're going to do this. Now, in the old days, I used to have this wonderful thing I called the chase matrix, where I would roll random things that could happen while you were being chased, and it would give you either advantages or disadvantages depending on if you made certain checks. Like a wagon pulls out in front of you. What are you going to do? I'm going to slide under it. I'm going to climb over it. Okay, well, that determines what check we're going to make. Is it going to be a dex or a strength or a con?
Right.
And I will recreate that, because somehow I lost the copy of it, and that's a bummer because it was wonderful. When I recreate that, it'll make chases a lot more dramatic and a lot funner.
More fun.
Okay, thank you. You want to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back. What time?
All right. You heard me say someone was at my front door.
Uh-huh.
Right? Okay. I was like...
Okay. The things came up on you guys' flank, and you determined you want to get the hell out of here and just go. All right? So, here's the way it works. These creatures have an effective constitution of 18. They do not tire. Okay? Tiring you won't have to worry about too much. I was explaining to Dirt, because you can run a number of rounds equal to your constitution before you risk becoming tired. If you push yourself times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, each one of those counts as an extra minute. So if you could do times 5, that would count as 5 minutes of running. Yeah?
Yeah.
Then that comes into play later. When you start getting exhausted, you have to make constitution checks. If you fail them, you drop down 1 movement rate. So your 12 would become a 9. Fail it again, your 9 becomes a 6. See how it dwindles? Then your 6 becomes a 3. They do it in brackets because, again, it's a game. We want to keep it kind of rolling. And if you want super realism, play Avalon Hill, which are great games. All 805,000 of them. Now, you guys need to escape these creatures. You know that they move slightly slower than you. Their movement rate is 9. Am I boring you yet?
No.
Good. I assume you guys are following. I assume this is pretty much straightforward kind of stuff. All right, and if it's not, just let me know and I'll clarify a point. Because it might be straightforward, but I may not be explaining it adequately. Aye?
Yep.
Okay. So, their movement rate, you guys know, is 9 inches. The reason they do everything in inches is tabletop gaming did everything in inches. The grid on the table usually was inch. And your lead figures were scaled to an inch. Okay, so their movement rate is 9. Your guys' is 12. Base, because you're human. Okay? No encumbrance, and your strength is magically restored. Yay, Dirt. Okay, so you're not encumbered. Any penalties that would apply from everybody trudging through snow is negated because they suffer it just like you do, so we'll just use base numbers. So you decide you want to escape. What you would generally do is plot your course, as in, I want to push. You would tell the DM, I'm going to borrow your character, Quinn. What's your constitution?
Constitution, I believe, is... It is 18.
Okay. You decide you just want to go out. And you're going to go ×3 movement. Okay?
Okay.
Now, Dirt, what would you like to do? I see your arrow there. What movement rate? 2, 3, 4? You want to walk?
Let's ×3.
Okay. So you're also going to go with the X3. Okay. The beasts will attempt to keep up with you. To do that, they're going to have to do ×4. At least. Alright? And remember that we've declared their constitution is effectively 18. So the round would start, and we're going to assume you guys won the initiative that you just decided you're going to cut and run. That gives you a +2 modifier on your initiative. So we'll just assume that you won, and that you guys get the first movement for the round. If you had lost, they would attack you on your way out. And certain ones, like this guy, and this guy would get a bonus because you're basically turning your back to them as you flee.
Right.
Okay? A fighting withdrawal is basically half your movement right off the top. And you can't really do the sprint, run, anything like that. You basically are fighting as you fall back. That's usually used for back this way. There's a choke point. We need to fall back to it.
Kind of like what we did at the shrine.
Mm-hmm. Cutting and running, different thing. Right now, you guys are just basically going, let's get the fuck out, and going. Just bolt and get out, which isn't a bad idea. Okay, so we determined that your base movement rate is 12 ×3, 36, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yay, I did maths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And just to stay on the board here, I may turn you 10, 11, 12. Okay, that's your base move right there. Ours is 9. That's it, 12, 11, 10, 9. Maybe back one more. And right about now, basically, as you've used half your actions or more to move. Once you move that 12, basically you're done moving, or you're done with one action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. About there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, we make our constitution checks. For those of you with 2 attacks per round, you still have an action left. Those who don't have 2 attacks per round, like, say, your semi-inadept wizard who A, is not good at running full sprint, and B, not good at fighting, is going to be at a heavy disadvantage at this point, because they just have to keep running. You guys, on the other hand, if you notice you're losing the race, can elect to do something else, like turn to engage and pull a weapon. Alright, at this moment, we make our check, because this is where it basically all comes down to if they gain on you or lose on you. The way this works is a contest. Highest without going over wins. Yeah?
So you get it on the number, you're good? Or is that...
Highest without going over. So what's your con? Dirt? Bring a
16.
d20 over here. Here you go. Here's a d20. Borrow that one.
Yep, 16.
Okay. So you would roll as an ability check. So you're trying to get a 16 or less. I'm trying to get an 18 or less. Okay. Now, in your case, you fail. So that means you're only able to pull off one movement rate lower. So this round, you actually went ×2. Yeah?
Yep.
Because you failed your check. Now you understand this is the moment where you need to make the check, because you know they're going to catch up with you. By the end of this round, they're going to be back on you.
Right.
And you've displaced yourself. This can be a disadvantage, say, if you guys are in a dungeon and this was, say, a hallway and a room, and you guys ended up getting split up. But that's a case-for-case thing. Now, Quinn, you also make your Constitution.
Hate it.
All right, now, notice he got a 4. I got a 14. Both of us succeeded, but I got the higher roll without going over. Meaning, they're also going to catch up to you by the end of this round. Because you only pull the ×2, just like Dirt did. So all said and done, you guys are going to move 24. And I'm going to move 9 times 4, 36. So they will catch you this round. So by next round, you'll be either rolling initiative or trying to continue running. In which case, they'll eventually, if they continue this trend that we just rolled, they'll eventually catch up to the point where they can get an attack on you as they're running.
Right.
In the case of these creatures only having one attack per round, it would take a little while. You'd still have to run them. I'm guessing if we played it, I think about 4 rounds at this trend for them to catch you. In other words, you'd have to kind of screw it up, get some real bad rolls for them to really catch up to you firmly to where they can attack. Which you'll see how that somewhat makes sense, because they're slower creatures in general. So even if you blow your rolls, they're still going to have a hard time keeping up with you.
In the meantime, can I be hitting them with sound?
Possibly. It depends on how much of a lead you have. And if you can take that extra action in the round to work to your favor. Turning a face, like if you're running from these guys, Dirt, and you decide to start heading this way, that takes one of your little movements for the round.
Right.
Okay. So running in a circle can take a lot of your movement. And that's basically a very quick summary of the movement. We'll clarify it more clearly again as it comes up, when you guys have to run from something or when something's trying to run from you. But the hex map, I also believe, will clarify combat a little bit, so you have a much better idea of what's coming from where and how. Now, with this system, free movement also goes away. That's probably the most important thing. It doesn't apply to this. You either have to use an attack, and you can move up to 60 feet, or 6 hexes, or you don't. That applies, of course, to all the beasts. They either move or they don't. Which can be to your advantage, because if you save an attack at the end of the round, You could drop 60 feet away from them. That could give you a full round of breathing room. A slow creature is either going to have to run at you, or they're going to have to walk and take an extra round to get to you. Okay?
Yeah.
If there's any general questions, now would be the time. Anything that was totally misunderstood, now would be the time. And if not, we'll just kind of roll with it and go. And some other little details and whatnot will be clarified when we play it through.
I only run from vampires anyway, so.
Good advice, actually, Dad.
Always run from vampires.
Okay, so also spheres are out. Remember how the deities are done? Much different. That's more for the viewers than you guys, because we already talked about it. But the viewers, priests don't work like they work in other campaigns in this world, because I'm trying something a little new and we'll see how it works. And yeah, I think it adds an air of mystery and a bit of suspense, because if you don't keep up with your rituals, it could go bad.
Right.
Alright, so I took time cleaning up the table, so I'm just making sure there's no other extraneous crud we could get rid of, because our table is a bit busy. These blue dice up here, do we really love them?
No.
They're rolling better than the stupid red dice.
Alright, we'll leave it alone then.
Who knows which dice will favor us each. Actually, probably more so resembles.
Give me 2 seconds here. Okay, we'll just do this as we go and see how it works. Let me step away for one more quick second, and then we'll actually, for real, actually get to the game itself, which will begin with you guys realizing that Dirt has to be on the sled most of the time, and you're going
Well,
to
I'm
be pulling
basically
it.
like a Yoda right now.
Yeah, exactly. The lookout. Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're the lookout. All right, I'll be right back.
As long as you're being productive. Oh, that's funny.
What?
No, I just I was assembling some models while we were talking, and apparently they put an extra sprue in the box. So I've been like searching for the extra 4 bases for a while. And no, it just they added an entire extra sprue, so I ended up with 4 extra models.
Alright, and we're back.
Okay.
Here we go. Day 1 of the great journey. Dirt, you hop onto the sled. Yeah. Get all comfy under the blankets. And, Quinn. Yeah, mule. You begin your march. Alright. Well, you do have Dirt on the lookout, on a dedicated lookout, so that'll help, like, a little bit, because once you descend again into the fogs, things will change. So, on the first day, as you guys are breaking out, just about when you hit Timberline and you start getting into the fog, off in the distance being all determined, about a quarter mile, a small herd of about 12 moose appears to be skirting around the timberline. Pushing on.
Maybe we need some food? Can I try to shoot one with a short bow? Or do we even need food at this point?
By my reckoning, it looks here that you guys have 10 days of owlbear, so that's 5 days each.
Let's just keep going.
Alright, so in effect you guys have 5 days. Alright.
Basco, you do know that a week is 10 days, right?
Wait, what? Oh,
Gonna
so we need we need twice the amount of food we have.
Yeah.
But we could shoot that moose, but can I actually even drag the moose?
You guys are kind of on the edge right now as for encumbrance. Really probably do need to figure that out. We have Dirt weighing 130 pounds. Your guys' gear probably adds up to about 100 pounds total, so about another 50. So about 200 pounds is what you're pulling. Your weight allowance is what?
55.
Yeah, so you're slowed significantly.
Isn't the kid with us?
The kid is with you. Hi.
Help me drag
I keep forgetting I'm here. Sorry. That'll help. That'll negate constitution checks because he can take the load half the day, I think. Well, his strength is 10.
It's something.
Weight allowance 45 pounds. So he'll also have to struggle. The two of you could pull it actually reasonably comfortably.
Yay, okay. Does that actually change how long it takes us to get to the road?
Not per se, no.
No.
As sad as it is with the bad terrain, no road, super snow, super fog, you're only covering about 10 miles a day.
We have snowshoes.
That helps. That makes it so it's not like 5 miles a day.
Yeah.
Which would be the equivalent of mountain climbing up a cliff. But yeah, very close to that. They're trudging through the deep snow and the fog, occasional winds. The good thing is after you descend down Nemval, you go across the Nemval Flats for at least 10 miles. What color should I use? Here we go. This will work.
As Quinn is pulling me, I'm just gonna do my "you don't see me's."
Makes sense. The Nemval Flats are flat plains, making for decent time. The rest of the day once again, due to the fogs, you could cross 50 feet within the biggest monster on the planet and it wouldn't see you and you wouldn't see it. Let's just say that there's no earth tremor, so the biggest monster on earth doesn't pass you this day. As night comes around, you guys have to cast your tent there. Not expecting any horrible adverse weather this evening, so the evening passes without incident. Next morning, you're up and about. At this point, it's going to be breaking into hills. Broken escarpments, steep gullies, rocks, thick trees, and bracken. Most of the bracken is under the snow, thus actually easing your passage through this area, but the gullies and whatnot, again, causes for very slow movement. Roll D10 for me, Dirk.
D10, where's it? Hold on. Okay, no, I'm not using your cursed red die, Black. Screw that.
The cursed red die.
5.
Okay. Luckily, this day and evening, I should get a separate roll for evening here soon, but again, chance of encounter is very low in the fog. So 2 days on the road, leaving you with 3 days of food when you wake up in the morning, and this would be day 3.
By the way, I also have 5 days of food and water of rations.
It's all uphill
Rations
from here.
and water.
It's all uphill from here. You guys are going to be spending the night above Timberline, going through the first of the mountain passes. This is the fast one. When morning comes, it'll be all downhill. However, being all uphill, you're going to have to make con check. Kid and Quinn. Because there's 2 of you pulling, no minuses. Kid's constitution is 16. 16 or less for the kid. Got it. Quinn, con check.
Oh, it's con check time.
For on this 3rd day, rocky, steep escarpments, a little bit of backtracking here and there as you end up going up valleys only to find the end
not
of the
a
cliff.
Dragon might
cliff.
die. Oh, it's not a D20?
No, that's a D12.
Aha, the old D12 trick.
I was going to
Did
make it either way. Dude, I made it by 1.
Nice, with the red dice even. Okay, so by the end of the day, you're pretty tuckered out, Quinn, but managed to pull it off. You guys are above Timberline. It's stupid cold, so we're going to need con checks. -2. To avoid any kind of...
-2?
Dirt, your con check is normal, because you're under a pile of blankets. Not trudging through snow. Not getting a bunch of frost buildup because of the cold fogs.
Yeah, I'm not using cursed red die.
Using this black one.
That's a D12.
Made it. Oh, God dang. Why do you have a D12 out?
I don't. That's not my dice.
That's a 12 too.
There's no D20 over there in that pile.
Why aren't you using your blue dice? Because there's no D20 in there. It's all D4s and D6s. Weird pile of dice that is. Alright, finally. Made it on the cursed dice. Alright, so. The cold is really bad. By the end of the day.
Did the kid make it?
The kid is dead.
Yes, the kid made it. I rolled him earlier. Okay, so. No, I didn't. Not for his con against cold. I made his con against pulling wagons.
Yep.
His is -1, because he's got really fine-made high class shit, like fox fur and stuff. Yeah, my mom bought me this jacket. You like it?
I thought you hated your mom.
I do, but I like the jacket.
Fair.
Especially today. It's really cold. Okay, so this day and the evening pass without incident. By my reckoning, it's morning of day 4. On the road. You guys are up high on the pass.
Above the fog?
Yeah. Weather sense?
Yes, sir. Wait, so that's wisdom -1, so 17 or less. Got it.
In about 3 days, you expect the weather's going to get terrifically bad. As you look to the far north, you can see where basically it's like a uniform plane of the fogs with mountains poking out of them. At the far mountains, as I said, about 3 days-ish, you see most definitely where the fog blends in to become cloud, and within that cloud, flashes of lightning, phenomenon known as thunder snow.
Thunder snow?
Mm-hmm. It's a thing we get out here where I live. Snowstorms with thunder and lightning. It's fucking
weird.
intense, dude.
That
It's
is
pretty
that
cool.
is actually terrifying.
It is really fucking cool and scary in many ways, yes, because it's all quiet and the snow's coming down. And yeah, it's pretty intense stuff. It's neat. I like it. Coming your way. 3 days. You're expecting really bad snow and lightning. I bet you guys are Googling thunder snow right now, aren't you?
No,
I've learned my lesson on that.
But
I don't
yeah,
Google anything.
it's pretty cool. The risk to you is relatively minor, and you're hoping, Dirt, 1, 2, 3, that in 3 days you will be back into one of the mountain passes. The weather will be terrible up there, chance of lightning worse, but you may be able to find like a cave or a crevice or some kind of like substantial cover that's not just trees and snow.
Right. Well, I do have stone shape, and I can, create a pocket for us.
There is that instant shelter thing going on.
Yeah.
All right, day 4. All downhill. Dex check. If you fail it, there's a disaster with the sled and everything else as you guys go down the steep escarpment, straight down. You're going to be in a valley by the end of the day.
Are we able to ride the sled down?
That would make the dex checks at a minus.
Whose decks do we use?
It's going to have to be both of the pullers.
Oh no.
Because in this case, you're less pulling the wagon and more suspending the
Guiding.
wagon. Yeah.
Well, my dex is better than yours anyway. Well, okay, here we go.
It'll slow you down a little bit, but you can get a bone. Oh.
Well, wait, I won't
Nothing.
look at it.
It'll slow you down, but you get a bonus if Dirt actually gets out and walks. But he'll have to make a dex check as well.
Yeah, he's at a dex 10. He won't make it.
And then the kid's dex is 17, so...
Oh,
Yeah,
I think I
kid's
got the
dex
second
17.
lowest, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, we
So
should be
me and
alright.
the kid will roll it.
Alright, we're doing it. Ooh, almost to 20. I made it.
Oh, made it.
Alright, so, you guys descend down into the valley without incident. No terrible things happened, didn't trigger any avalanches, didn't get any boulders that fell on your face. However, as you come into the woods, you hear a baying like dogs. Not far. You suspect they may be padding through the woods.
Does the psionic recognize the sound of wolves?
I don't know, do I?
Do you have animal lore as a proficiency or just animal training? Because if it's training, then you know dogs and horses.
I know animal training, animal handling, not animal lore.
It's not a, I don't think that's a proficiency for us to choose from.
Yeah, there are others that are hidden in all kinds of different books here and there.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now then.
Yeah, and even if it's not in the books, that's fine because they give you the rules for making your own proficiencies.
Oh.
Oh, so yeah, if we come up with something that's not specified but useful, like animal lore, then yeah. I would say, because you're a man of the beast, or a former man of the beast, and that kind of stuff, you know your roars, and your barks, and your sounds. So I'm going to give you a wisdom check at minus nothing, because these are actually a somewhat common occurrence.
Sweet. Alrighty, then we're
You can
gonna
immediately
find out what these are.
You can immediately determine it's canine.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Did you fail it?
I ultimate failed it.
Oh, Pascal.
Sounds like cats to me.
That sounds like a house cat. There must be a farm nearby.
One of those.
Does the kid have anything that's going to help us here? Animal something. No. He can speak in Tonaroan pretty well. He spent a year with the natives, you know, in order to rescue Jeffrey. Long story. Anyway, Jeffrey made a slight tactical error after the party had done so well circumventing a little trap trick, puzzle thing. And at the last moment, you know all about this, Dirt. They messed up and made a tactical error that ended up costing them pretty big. Almost derailed the campaign. I had to pull something out of my butt, literally, to kind of save it. That was on like their 5th play session ever. It was an error anybody could make. Would you like to see it? Voomp, voomp, voomp. Let's see if I can draw this with any fucking degree of semi-accuracy. There we go. This is what they faced. In here was the thing they had to get to. And they discovered that each class, the priest, the wizard, the fighter, the thief, was represented in like a little test. Okay? All right? And the test of the thief was able to touch these magical barriers here. These are like magical walls. And dissolve them with the heat of their palm. Because it said you had to use your most valuable tool. And for the thief, it's not a matter of tool. It's the hands that wield them. That's their most valuable tool. That's the tool they use to backstab with. That's the tool they use to pick locks with. So it was all about their hands. And therefore he could dissolve a wall and step through. Guess what wall he dissolved?
The priest?
No, he did this. And then found himself trapped in here because you only get one wall to get rid of. And the point is to go through here. Understand?
Yeah.
So he found himself trapped in temporal stasis. As in like, whoop, stuck between ticks in the clock. forever. So the kid had to pull some shit out of his butt and rescue everybody. Yay, kid. Yeah, and that's when I wished that everything would be okay. And it was. Nobody else really remembers any of it, but I spent time with the natives. See? Shows that he's wearing his loincloth under his pants. I always keep it close. I enjoyed my time with the natives. They were simple folk, not like my family. Hi, I'm an NPC, the kid says.
Hi, my name's the kid, and I'm an NPC.
But the player may show up sometimes, so I'm just trying to keep in the spirit. He's confused most times because he doesn't know stuff about things. Alright. Moving right along. All of this was randomly determined terrain, by the way. You guys are now in a hilly valley, by the way. And the baying of the animals, the cats, is sounds a little closer this time.
I mean, how many howls do we hear?
Sounds like a pack. Animal handler guy over there could probably guess.
Shall I try to guess?
Small pack, you're guessing. 10 to 15? Not dogs or wolves. Sounds different. You're afraid it might be frost mastiffs.
Oh, great.
What are frost mastiffs?
Animal guy there tells you that, you've had some exposure to them. There are some groups out there that keep them domesticated, but for the most part they're extremely difficult to domesticate because they have a very feral intelligence. And that intelligence is malign, as in they don't get along well with anything. Some people say that they're a gift from an old summoner who brought them from another place, like another plane of existence. And they've remained here and bred true, meaning they've inbred with the various other dogs, wolves of the land, and have become relatively common out there.
So, shall we press forward, or... I'm pretty sure they can smell us.
That is a danger. Your choices at this point would be something along the lines of moving towards them, attempting to evade them, or just kind of hoping for the best that they don't track you down.
I mean... I have a lot of creatures we have to slay if we have to fight them. What do you think, Basco? Basco.
Have you gone full wafu on us?
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We were afraid you went wafu mode.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, we could use some meat, but there's 15 of those suckers. I mean, there's 3 of us, though. Maybe...
Their fur's valuable.
Ooh. Well,
But you'd have to take it careful without chopping and hacking
oh my
to
God.
pieces.
Oh my god, oh my god. Is there a way I can dominate one of those suckers and
They
we can
breathe
use it
frost.
to fill the tank? Oh.
They breathe frost. There it is.
There it is!
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Their teeth are valuable as well.
Well, if we had any spells that would cause, like, AoE damage, but there's 15 of those suckers and they breathe frost.
Because they literally eat frozen meat, their teeth are extremely durable. They're actually used as saw blades. They'll put them into them. You understand they'll mount them as basically a ripsaw. So their hides and their teeth are worth something. And certain, because of their frost breath, you're pretty certain the apothecary Tinctura of Honor Grave would be more than happy to pay for specimens. But again, can your weak asses drag it? Maybe, because you do have the kit. I kind of like the zen of this pulling the wagon thing. Shut up. I like doing shutting up.
I like doing
Shut up.
I like doing shutting up.
Alright, so kid kind of sidesteps out of frame so we don't see him anymore, and we focus on Dirt and Quinn. And what are you guys going to do? You're in the valley now. We're in the valley.
Well, we could press forward and then, like, move cautiously because we hear them. If they start coming after us, we'll be able to see which one's the leader, dominate it, or kill it.
Intelligence check -4 to evade, basically,
It's
is
two
what
of
that
them?
comes
Oh,
down
okay.
to.
I've got some high intelligence because I'm
Oh, why?
Quinn. I will.
So the
attempt
two
to
of you working
evade.
together, it'd probably average out to about the same intelligence, so go for it. Putting two heads together.
Oh, barely made that.
Man, all of you, every one of
Hey,
you guys,
hey.
from Wafu to
I'm not rolling
Quinn
that bad
to
today.
Dargoth, you guys just... And the only one who rolls semi-good is Jeffrey.
Hey, I'm making the roll though.
And
you
Jeffrey's
know.
just better at compensating when he blows the roll, so you kind of forget that he did it. Such as, oh, he's bolted down! The legendary moment he found that Magpie bolts down all of his furniture because he failed his strength check to pick up something. And then the next round, what? Why is it chained to the wall? Because he failed his second strength check in a row and discovered that the Magpie apparently chains all of his furniture to the wall because he couldn't lift the object. This is when he was throwing furniture at the owner because you guys at the time didn't have any means of actually fighting the thing. So he was just trying to throw and break furniture against it and thus distract it, and it worked. Broke everything in Magpie's house, which I think was his secret goal. But it worked. Who knows what motivated Jeffrey that day? I'm a man of action, he would say. Alright, so you guys are in the wooded valley, attempting to evade. You made the check, not with a -4.
Uh-oh. Were we supposed to do a -4?
Yeah. Now make another check at the normal, because this will affect how bad it goes.
What the heck?
Okay,
You made
not
that one.
rolling for us this
Yeah.
time.
That one had no minuses, so you did actually technically make it. So you find yourselves, as you're trying to evade the dogs, it's not working. You're discovering this is after, the course of about an hour of wending your way through the fogs and the trees and the hills. And you come to the shores of a lake.
Huh?
Did you know about this lake?
No?
You're assuming it's not a very big one, but yeah. I should probably do this on a 5-mile scale. Shores of the lake. If you circumvent the lake, there's a pretty good chance that the dogs will catch you. I'm expanding this to 5-mile scale for clarity.
We
What
can't
is
swim
what?
the lake, we'll die.
I'm changing the scale of the map.
Oops.
For a little bit of clarity. Day when I fucked up. All right. Well, we're figuring that out. Did you? You have two choices at this point. Go along the shores of the lake, which will give the dogs an advantage in finding you because they are tracking you. Smelly. And your other choice is to cross the ice of the lake, which doesn't look, despite the temperatures, 100% stable. But stable enough that you think you'd probably be reasonably okay making your way across it. The reason it's unstable is because the wind is causing it to shift and break and crack. And the cold fogs and the snow have drifted on top of the ice in places, making its integrity questionable. Now, while you guys figure out what to do, I'm going to finish screwing up this map. If you'll pardon me, I'd like to finish screwing up the map, please.
It's time to screw.
Sean Connery. If you excuse me, please, I'd like to continue screwing up the map. It was that bad. Alright. Terrible impression. These are the plains. They're about 10 miles across. 2 hexes, because we're going 5-mile hexes instead of 10, to avoid mad clutter. You guys then made your way across the mountain pass. I lie. Sorry guys, this is a semi-new system. I'll get it ironed out. Hills. Then the pass. Thank you. I should probably do this in different colors. Yeah, I'll have a much better system by next time. I'm learning so much. Okay, so you then went over the pass. Which in effect, again, we're doing basically, it's kind of 10-mile chunks. And I've forgotten how to play this game. And now you're in the valley. What should I use for woods? Good enough. Random squiggles. Very elementary. Alright. So there we are. You guys have more or less been making your way through this terrain. It's done in 10-mile chunks, which, I do apologize. I'll get a better system over time. But you're heading generally up this way towards where you need to be. You're now in a hilly valley, trying to evade the beasts, and you found a lake. Cross the ice. That'll give you a bit of an advantage because the dogs instinctively are a little bit uncomfortable going across it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Across? Gonna risk it?
Yep.
Alright, we're gonna need an intelligence check.
Alright, you're not rolling.
None of you guys have Arctic survival, right?
Don't
Specifically.
let me roll it. I already barely made
I have
it.
rural.
No.
Alright, yeah. So add a minus what?
Too bad Dorian's not here. He'd be like, don't step there. Intelligence minus 2.
8, and I'm like, no.
No, we'll just keep it at -2. We'll just keep it simple for now.
8 minus 2 is 16. 16 over.
-1 for not knowing what you're doing. Minus another 1 for the weather.
Wait, what? Oh, wait. Now we're in -4?
Good.
3.
Oh, we're
No,
minus
no.
2.
Yes, relax. I got 3.
Dirt from his prestigious position on the sled. Don't step there. Don't step there.
I know this valley. I go through this valley a lot.
And you've had your time, playing on the ice.
As a kid,
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with frost giants.
Hanging out with...
One more check. You're halfway across the lake. Not a very big one, just a few miles across, but yeah, it's more of a. It is a lake, actually.
Are the dogs following us across the lake?
Of course.
Got it.
But we're going to check on them here in just a second. All right. You got it?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to make a couple of checks here for the dogs. For the viewers out there, I'm going to make a morale check to start with to see if they're going to bother with the prey. Hell no. Yeah, apparently when you guys crossed onto the lake ice, you broke a large section of it away and just kind of ran ahead of the break until it became more stable and then pushed on. Therefore, the dogs see broken ice and water, and they're not at all interested in following. So you lucked out of that one. So you lucked out on that one.
I mean, I wouldn't have minded, like, killing one for the code. I turn around, I tie a rope to an arrow, and I shoot it.
Into the fog. Just hope you hit something.
I'm gonna drag that sucker back across the lake.
All right.
We get across the lake.
Mm-hmm. Get to the other side. As it starts getting dark, you guys pitch your tent. The night passes in silence.
It is silent.
Mm-hmm. Barring that horrible howling that comes out in the early morning somewhere from the north. Not human, not any kind of animal you guys are familiar with. The closest that you could possibly think, Dargoth, would be the roar that creature made on the day that the spear saved you.
No.
It was similar, yet deeper, larger, and almost as if it was in pain. A persistent howling roar from somewhere in the north. Just barely hear it. And that's how you spend your early morning in the woods of the valley, the not so big valley, as the next day is all uphill. Make your constitution checks. -2. No minus. I forgot the kid. Hi, I'm here. I'm helping. He made his. No, he didn't. He failed it by 1. No, there's no minus, so he made it. Quinn, your turn. You're also pulling. We both have to make a check. Because if you fail it, that puts extra effort on the kid, or we have to make Dirt walk.
Fail. There we go. Made
Awesome.
it.
All right. We're getting good at this uphill stuff. Is they're just kind of pulling you up the cliff there, Dirt? You're just kind of kicking it. Wish you had a cigar, something like that.
I wish I had a bottle of wine. Bottle of wine would go.
The way I see it,
real
it's
good
day
right now.
5. That means that you guys should be out of owlbear meat.
Yep. I do have 5 days ration and water. So.
I'm not very good at these cards, so if somebody wants to get rid of that 10-day meat thing. And we totally forgot the kids here. That would have cut your rations, but we'll be nice this time.
It doesn't eat.
Yeah, I do.
He should have his own food.
Actually, technically, Dargoth shouldn't get to eat riding in the sled.
Yeah, I'm not burning as much, so I'm gonna get. No, I still have.
Dargoth just like chews on the blankets.
I eat rocks.
Pieces of bark.
He can drink the marrow or chew the marrow out of that pterodon skull.
I think that's probably gone bad by now.
Well, we are in the cold though.
That's true. All uphill from here as you head back into another high point.
So technically, we're going north right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna come across that. All right.
Yeah. You want to explain that to me, Dirt? I'm pretty sure it's a frost giant, but
I'm pretty sure it's a dragon,
Oh.
because that roar sounded like the baby dragon that attacked me, where the spear saved my arse.
Where's the spearhead?
On me, it weighs nothing. It follows me around.
We could drop it at any time, but that would be a mistake.
No, I can't, because it goes back onto my person.
Yeah, it has been kind of hanging about.
Because I originally left it back in the room with all the other artifacts. But somehow one morning it was in my pocket.
We're cheating that a little bit.
Huh?
So I'll be
Oh.
applying a little bit of a better system, I guess, in the future. And all this will be eventually added to the more details. This map actually has a lot of resolution to it, so I can definitely add a lot of detail.
I mean, you could import it and use Fog of War on it.
Mm-hmm.
Just means we can't watch. Oh, yeah.
I'll have to start pre-drawing it. On this morning, you guys have basically reached the base of the pass. And that would be morning of...
Day 6. Or day 5. No, morning of day 5.
Yepper. This whole day is going to be spent going up. I should have asked for your con checks now, rather than before, because you were still in the valley. But we'll take the prior ones. Success. By the end of the day, you guys are more or less just kind of hanging on a rock outcropping on the side of rock outcroppings and cliffs. You're halfway up by the end of the day. Above timberline. Stupid cold. That brings us around to the con checks. Quinn, you're at -2, because you're the one doing a lot of pulling and that kind of stuff. Kid is -1, because he has Richie robes. Yay, look at me, I'm rich. Or was. And I got a cocked eye on a flat surface. Interesting.
Ooh,
Made it.
ultimate pass.
Made it.
Yeah, made it on like a...
Dargoth, no penalty, because you're
I made
cuddling
it.
with the blankets on the sled. Alright. You guys are expecting another day of uphill. Going through the high pass. Tomorrow, as you're going up the high pass, guess what happens?
The thunder snowstorm starts.
Yes. You guys will have to race it if you intend to get as far as you want to get before it hits. And you're expecting that when it does hit, you might not be going out until it passes. Your weather sense would have to be made at a -4 at this point to see if you can guess how long it's going to last. Could be days. Could be weeks. When snow starts in Skyfell, it can keep going.
13 or less. I
Yeah.
got it with a 5.
Really? All right. This storm looks like it's going to be extremely violent, but only last about a day. You don't think your tent will be adequate shelter. You would have to spend at least a small portion of the day looking for some kind of suitable outcropping. You could build one.
By the end of this day, though, are we up in, like at the peak of the pass?
Yes, because then it would be basically 2 days down.
Okay. Well, once we get to the top, I'm just gonna create a hole, like, shape stone. Create a, kind of cave.
Sounds good to me. But how long do you think the storm's gonna last?
Day.
Okay. Do it.
Totally lied.
Oh, why?
Why? Because I didn't check my notes that I have here.
Because I can.
Right. We all can. That's a power that humans have, to lie. Ask any politician. All right. So, you're expecting it might last 4 days, Dirt?
4 days? Damn.
Mm-hmm.
And if we get caught in it?
That's when you'd probably want to try and make your shelter using your stone shapes. Otherwise, just watch the trail and see if you guys find a little cave on the way.
Alright.
Problem is the food.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you don't have much choice. You could backtrack down to Timberline to try and find herd animals using the hunting skill, if any of you guys have it. If you don't, it's a random roll.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
And even with hunting, with the fogs, substantial minus. I don't think I know how to hunt either, the kid says, but I'll check.
No.
No? Okay. Engineering. Okay, yeah, gotcha. So we start morning of day 6. You want to try and get up to the top of the pass, not on these down slopes before the storm hits.
Right.
To do such a thing, strength checks from the pullers. Oh no, the kid says.
Oh no. Oh
What if I
no.
get out
Wait, what if you what? I made my roll too. What if you what?
Get out and walk.
That'll help. That'll make the burden substantially less, giving you guys a +4 in your favor, so 14 or less for the kid. Even I can make this, I hope. I did. Quinn, strength, +4 or less.
Here we go.
What do you need?
Oh, I need a lot. Strength
Nah.
+4, you said?
Yeah,
19.
19 or less. Yeah, you're
Okay,
fine. You got this.
For a second, I thought you said -4.
Wow.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Kid leans to you. Without the fat guy riding, it's almost easy. It's almost a pleasure to pull this thing.
Hey, I heard that.
Sorry.
Almost a pleasure.
As you reach the top of the pass, the winds are intensifying. The snow is already starting. Wind is drifting. All that other good stuff like that. You can see distant flashes through the fog. The lightning hasn't started yet. And poking around for anything you can find. Out of the fog, remember the distance is about 20 feet that you can see. You see what appears to be a worked stone wall. Nestled up against a uprise. Yeah, basically against a cliff face, if you will. And
Okay.
having a quick look around, it looks as if you found a small dilapidated barracks. Old, abandoned, no roof to speak of. Many of the walls collapsed from decades of snow weight and neglect. There's a ruined tower attached. Nothing grand and extraordinary like the one that you guys saw, but, about 20 feet across, 30, 40 feet tall at its height. It has fallen to ruin. Poking in through the old door where the door used to be, you can see that the outer walls seem intact, but the crumbling interior has nothing but wood floors that have collapsed into a mossy pile of ruin. Almost looks like some kind of, maybe a ranger station or a guard barracks. Who knows how old it is? Remember, things tend to age a lot slower in the Arctic environment, depending on what they are.
Am I able to use ancient history and stonemason to check to see?
Sure.
All right, so
Now, but wait, studying takes time, and there's no roof on this thing. It wouldn't give you the shelter you're going to need against this snow.
right. So let's continue to see if there's any shelter. Yeah.
This place might have a cellar, the kid says.
I look at the kid. All right, that's a good idea. Let's see.
Stellar, kid.
Everybody roll a 1d6 and just tell me the number you get.
How many mastiffs are in the cellar?
One.
Two.
Even as you start hearing the thunder and seeing the flashes and the snow is starting to get a little worrisome, you find in the tower, by lifting up some old and decayed supports, floor stuff, roof stuff that has become a jumble, that there certainly is indeed what appears to be a floor hatch. It took you guys about an hour of digging around in the old ruined barracks in the tower to find this.
Right. So I shall go down first.
The kid, with his engineering, is able to rig up a quick system for you guys to support the garbage in the way without having to dig it out. You can crawl in, get the hatch open. The hatch is stubborn, but opens without any kind of roll necessary. And yes, indeed, drops down. Narrow staircase, winding its way down about 10, 15 feet. Gonna go down the stairs. Can't see the room at the bottom. You're just guessing it goes down about 10, 15 feet.
Gonna cast a light spell before we head down.
Alright. Guys line up, head down the very narrow staircase, and find that yes, indeed, there appears to be a root cellar down here. It's about 20 foot square. Ceiling's low.
How low?
About a 5-foot ceiling.
I'm bending over, walking through it. Kind of like guys when they go in Men in Black.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It looks as if one time this was probably a well-used place. Stone shelves line the walls, and you can see the ruins of what appears to be wood shelves that filled the area in between. All fallen to ruin. Moss, dust, mold, nothing that's going to hurt you. It would have by now as you guys search the room.
Right.
In the corner is a small brick hearth.
How is a hearth?
It's a small fireplace. appears to vent out of the foundation of the place.
I'm gonna shine my light up inside the hearth, see if there's any creatures lurking about.
Other than some snow blockage, which could easily be poked out and cleared up, no, looks good. Hasn't been used in who knows. It's not so much ashes in the pit, it's just kind of moss that has grown on top of old ashes. Now you have time to poke around and use your ancient history and stuff to see if you can determine perhaps when this was used and built. Looks like the outer walls were built very firm, hence the barracks. Was definitely built to house, if not soldiers, workers. The interiors, being made of wood, have way fallen to just sponge and moss.
Alright.
And there you guys are, in the cellar, as the thunder snows begin to rage overhead.
Would I be able to use herbalism as well to see if the moss is edible?
Gonna try and dig up some food, are you?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a check.
Herbalism -2, so that is 15 or less. Got it.
Alright. 20% chance that there's enough of something edible down here to be useful to you guys. 38. No good. You determine that all the mosses that are down here are inert, as in they wouldn't poison you, but they're not going to do anything for you. There's a few mushrooms that are definitely questionable. You don't think those would be a wise idea.
I don't think I have anything that would.
Yeah, that's all I can do, really. We got a few days to kill, but we also need food.
Have an iron pot.
So that means we could cook something. You could try venturing out. You wouldn't want to go very far, and there's a slim chance that you could maybe find some kind of wildlife out there. But again, it's blizzard condition, plus fog, plus wind, plus lightning. You guys are high up on the mountain, so there's not much in the area of like trees. More or less, you're going to be poking under rocks to try and find a marmot.
So, 4 days, 2 days down, 4 days of the weather. So, if we did get caught in that weather, what would happen?
Probably freeze to death and get horribly lost.
Well, we might run out of food, but it'll take a couple days for us to starve, you know.
Yeah, it'll take you a while to starve out.
What if we started rationing the food we have right now? Because...
Well, you're out of food right now. 5 days ago, maybe that would have been a good idea.
Well...
At this juncture, you don't really have anything left.
Guess we should have fought the Mastiff.
Or, you know, killed an elk.
Moose, but yeah, and there are... Live and learn, gentlemen. That's the way it goes. And who knows how this would have turned out. You could have chased the moose away, and they could have ran off, and you could have wasted a day chasing moose for nothing.
True.
And ended up on the cliffs when the storm hit.
So, Great Food and Water's banned spell now?
Oh, yeah. Very specific priests have it.
All right.
I don't
Ones
suppose
that
could,
perhaps
like,
you could beg, borrow, bribe in the future.
Maybe you could get in some soil that has potato in it. You know,
Doesn't work
something
like
that.
that. I can just get in stone.
Yeah, no, there's no potatoes on the... Well, actually, it's an infinite plane, so there's a pretty good chance there's a lot of potatoes. But actually finding one would be extremely difficult, and it would be petrified. Petrified potato. If it's an infinite plane, there's an infinite number of potatoes. That's how the math works. Anyway, go ahead. Where are we going? Nowhere. That's what the kid says. I don't think we're going anywhere. You could venture out and try and find marmots under the rocks, but keep in mind, it's extremely windy. You're probably going to end up trying to use rope. Find your way back because your tracks will get blown under in no time. Literally no time. And literally you'd be going for moles and stuff that are under the snow and under the rocks. Good thing is being up so high, a lot of the snow has been pushed out into big drifts, so there are vast areas of just bare stone rock. And you guys are kind of in a little bit of a valley, if you will, so there are some steep drifts on one side and almost no snow on the other.
Oh, I thought we were at the peak.
Mm-hmm. But you got to remember, there's always heights and lows.
Yeah.
Even up high. Yeah, you're as high as this goes without going up into even higher mountains around you, but that's like climbing Everest. You're using a mountain pass right now.
Right.
And this little barracks was built basically up against a cliff face in a valley that's a few hundred, I'd say probably 100, 200 meters wide. With stark, straight-up mountains on all other sides.
I look to the group and say, "I'll be back," as I phase through the stone of the room and go upwards.
Taking you to the surface.
Yeah.
All right.
On the way, looking for any.
You come out under the snow, push your way through. Ugh. And yeah, it's as bad as you could have expected out here. You can't hear anything, the howling of the wind. And it's extremely dark. Casting your second light spell for the day.
Yep.
Alright. And yes, it's dark out. You can't see beyond... at this point, it's probably about anywhere between 5 to 20 feet on any given round. It would be randomly determined because it's snow, fog, heavy winds. But you get these bright flashes of lightning. Heavy thunder. Nearly constant. That's a great idea, you think to yourself, but you can't hear yourself because the wind's too loud. And you're going to go poking around?
Yeah.
If it's
All
night,
right.
you
What do
might
you
as
have
well
to
wait
dig
till
through the
day.
snow? What do you have to dig through the snow?
My hands.
There you go.
Well, that's not a great idea. You have a dagger.
No, I don't.
You have no sword, no nothing. Oh, you
No.
couldn't bring that with you?
Nope.
Well, sucks to be you.
And actually, this would be day 6. Even in the daylight, visibility ranges between 5 and 20 feet, depending on the fog and the snow that's blowing. And this would be your effective first day without food, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because you had 5 days.
Yep.
So you're effectively at -1 days. As you go out, Quinn and the kid gonna hang out in the root cellar. Quinn and the kid, roll d6. Tell me what number you get.
We're in the dark.
We got a little fire burning. I assume you guys have a little bit of wood with you that you dragged on the cart.
Roll
enough
the
to
one.
get a little fire going. And if not, you can always dig up some of the spongy wood out of the ruins and probably get it lit. Quinn, what do you know?
I found a mouse. Yes. Not telling him. I'm gonna eat it.
As you basically flop down, we're going to starve to death buried under 10 feet of snow, you say to yourself, and you flop down and you distinctly hear a sound very similar to...
Is that a trap door?
And looking under some rubble, you find a sealed, oversized brown bottle of, you're guessing it might be ale or mead.
Fantastic.
Bunch of other broken bottles as well that were somewhat obscuring it, but this bottle seems to still be intact and sealed. Meanwhile, Dargoth, stumbling around, using your light spell to the best of your ability. It does actually help.
Yes.
Let's have an intelligence check, so as not to get lost.
No.
Or direction sense. If you have direction sense, you can make that.
All
right. No negative
19
on
or
that.
less. 19 or less. Cock die. Got it.
Here, you know what? We don't need Bloody Rider in this second, so just cover that.
I got it, by the way, Black.
Alright, so that'll keep you from getting lost. Your chance of actually finding something useful is 1 in 10. So I'll let you roll your own fate. You take a d10. If you get a 1, you find something. And then we'll determine what it is if it becomes relevant. Could be something small, could be something big. You find nothing.
Did that roll on your screen?
Yeah, kinda.
Right.
Okay, so here's what happens. At this point, if you wish to continue looking around, you're going to risk lightning strike, risk getting lost, and you're going to have to take a chance against getting cold frostbite kind of action going on. So 3 checks will be made. And then you'll get another chance for your 1 in 10. That attempt took about half the day.
I'm just gonna go back then. I don't want to get risk. I don't want to risk getting lit up by a lightning strike.
Right. The chance is a flat 5%.
No, in my luck, I have
And that's
probably
one
get all
roll.
3 checks.
Yeah, and then you'd have to make con check -2 because of the extreme cold. And then you get your 1 in 10. Oh, and then of course your don't get lost roll. Getting lost up here means you probably tumble down a cliff.
True.
And end up down in the valley. The wrong way. Fast, but not intact.
Fast but not intact.
Mm-hmm. It's the best
No,
way
I'm
to
just
put
gonna
it.
go back to the room.
Alright,
stone.
so.
And then do my he don't see me's.
You don't want me to see you?
Day 2 of the storm. Here you guys are, hanging out in the root cellar. Your firewood is somewhat slim, but again, there's enough wreckage around you that that's not really a concern. But let's just say you have to maintain and monitor the fire pretty constantly because the wood that you're using is A, dust, and B, water, snow, moss-logged dust. Once you get the moss going, it burns pretty good, the kid says. It's long-lasting, but it smells bad. I'm going to shut up now. Guys going to do anything on this day? Anything special?
I mean, I could ectoplasmic form up there and try to do the same thing.
You could.
Or you could just go.
The 2 of you could go up and double your chances, but double your risk.
Let's double our chances and double the risk.
Yeah, because double the dice is double the good, double the bad. It's casino life.
Well, let's risk it to get the biscuit.
Risk it for the biscuit. Oh, yeah.
So you guys are going up?
Yeah.
All right, well, make your check for ectoplasmic form there, Pascal. You'll really
I
only
don't-
have to become ectoplasmic for one round.
Do I have to become it?
We just
You
go
could
up the
climb out.
stairs?
Yeah, it's covered in snow and whatnot. I'd have to make an engineering check for the kid to see if his little support structure has collapsed. And if it has, you'll have to probably spend half a day digging your way out.
All right.
Guess I should do that? You guys gonna check?
He should check just in case.
All right. Now where'd all my 20s go? There's one. The kid, engineering. What else you guys doing while I'm looking this up? Oh, he doesn't have the modifier.
Gonna look around the room, see what else is here around.
I'm gonna decree intelligence -2 for the moment. No, I'll look it up later. 16 or less for the kid. To make sure that his little impromptu support holds. Oh yeah, it's fine. It'll be good. I figured for the snow. He starts to explain the math and you tell him, shut up. Sorry. Going up top. No ectoplasm needed. You can crawl out. No blend with earth needed either. You can crawl out.
All right.
Keep in mind, if you fall under attack here, you'd have to dig your way down to the ground to use that ability because you're crawling on snow most of the time. Just FYI.
Okay.
As you guys head out, staying roughly together so you only have one navigation check, or you can totally split up.
I suggest he stays with me so we don't get lost. We don't get split up.
Alright, that'll slightly lessen your chances of finding something because you're kind of searching the same general area, but
Right.
probably worth not getting lost. Go ahead and make your check. Let's see if you
Okay.
get everybody lost. What do you need?
19 or less for direction sense.
Alright. First half of the day, each you make a con check at -2 versus the cold.
On -2.
Mm-hmm.
Or less.
Ooh, ultimate made it.
Got it as well.
Alright, and roll your d10s to see if you find anything. Nothing
8.
for there. Nothing for there.
I got 7 again. All right.
However, you do find something.
Oh.
Keep in mind that your light spell is very similar to like a really bright fluorescent light, so it casts a really, stark, heavy shadow, stark white light. Using that for your navigations, and as you guys are poking around, you determine that you're not going to find a marmot today. No snails. It doesn't look like you're going to find shit. And as you're making your way back, you take a slightly different path to cover more ground. And you see something. It looks like a snowdrift at first. But then you note that this is not a drift. It's snow that has drifted against something that is white.
Oh.
It's long and big.
Oh no.
It's a dragon. For sure. As you get just a little bit closer, you can see the scales. It doesn't move. It appears to be dead. Do you wish to investigate closer? You're about 20 feet away from it now, seeing it through the fog and the blizzard. You could retreat this very moment and totally get out, or you can investigate further. While you guys discuss the merits of that, I have to take one of my quick AFKs, so I'll be right back.
Investigate closer. Hands down.
We gots to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we gotta check. Cause like worst case scenario, it's alive and happy to see us, and we ectoplasma the F out of there. As long as I get it off. Oh my god, what if I didn't get it off and then I just
I'm back.
Welcome.
What's your
Yeah, we're
decision?
gonna take a closer look.
All right.
Yep, we've got to.
Remember how I described that there are areas of bare stone that's been blown? This
Yeah.
is one of those areas. The snow drifting against the body has drifted because it's interfering with the wind patterns. But at this point, if you really wanted to meld, you could. And as you approach, you notice that the beast seems to lie in the last, like, dwindling remains of what you think might be some kind of circle that was put on the ground using a chalky substance. Some of it blown away, some of it worn away.
Am I able to make a check to see what the symbols look like?
Not at this point. Too far dissolved. Best you can make out is that at one point it seemed as if there was a circle around the thing and perhaps more runes. What's more intriguing is the runes carved into the thing's body. Bleeding runes cut into its neck and down along the underside, where you notice that looks like something got into the thing.
Like, what do you mean by into it?
Looks like certain organs have been removed.
Fantastic. It's definitely dead.
The creature, its main body plus tail brings it to about 80 some odd feet long, so you actually have to walk along its length to get a full scope of how big it is. It appears to have been curled into the bounds of the circle, which appears to be about maybe 20 to 30 feet across.
Huh. Am I able to depict what the runes look like?
Nothing you're familiar with. You're thinking perhaps a wizard would know. Hi! Suddenly the camera. Hi! He waves.
Hey kid, tell us what's up.
He's going to have a little bit of a look here. Spellcraft times 2, nice. What's his intelligence? 18. 14 or less. These are very obscure, he says. I kind of recognize them. These are necromantic sigils. Yeah, pretty much every one of them is.
Huh.
Necromantic symbol, huh?
Do you think this dragon will come back to life anytime soon, or no?
You guys are all kind of looking at the hole in the belly neck area where things have been. It looks like the heart's been taken. And maybe a couple other organs. I don't think it's going to come back.
Okay.
You guys make your way towards the head of the creature.
Right.
Again, it's curled around, so you're kind of walking around the perimeter of the circle. As you approach the head area, you see, it has a head. There you go. That's still here. Which, I was kind of half expecting that not to be here. But more so, in the darkening fog, because it is getting kind of later in the day, you see what appear to be 2 pinpoints of purple light hanging in the air at the edge of your visibility, about 20 feet away. Directly in front of the head, as it was about 20 feet away from where the beast would be looking, if it had eyes, because those aren't there.
Oh. Alright.
I'm wondering if we got rid of if we like kicked out the dust, if it would take away whatever magic would bring this thing back to life.
The pinpoints of light move.
Towards us?
Seems that way, and you can see the silhouette of what appears to be a man shape.
A
Which
man
then
or a dwarf?
Reveals itself as a purple cloaked figure, the pinpoints of light burning within its skull, as it has no flesh upon its hands or its face. It bears a scepter, long enough to act as a staff, as it walks forward. The gods have decreed there will be witnesses to this. Motions to the beast behind you. Failure. So it will be. You shall bear witness. It raises its hand, and the corpse behind you begins to stir, creaking with the frost that's basically frozen it. It stands to its feet, silently. And the skeletal robed figure looks upon you. I know not why you're here, or why you have been chosen to bear witness to the great failing that you see before you. He motions and you look over your shoulder looking at the great, I guess you'd call it mutilated beast standing behind you silently. But here you are, and witnesses you shall be. And with that, he turns and walks away, disappearing again into the fog.
Witnesses, but not victims, right?
The silent, mutilated dragon behind you just stands. The wind and thunder blowing around it. What are you guys going to do?
He said witnesses.
It's time to get the fuck out of here, the kid says, and he starts pushing you guys away. Let's get the fuck out of here. Go. Now, let's just go. Go.
Alright, I'm with the kid. I'm just getting the fuck out of there.
I don't know what the fuck that was, the kid says. He's just pushing you guys through the snow. I don't know what it was. I don't care. I just want to go back to the hole and hide.
Like, chop the tail off or something? Just standing there.
A necromantic wizard.
He said it was a failure. He said it was a failure, and then the thing just stands up, and then he says you're going to be a witness.
As you guys are crawling into your hole. And remember that weird sound we heard the other night? I bet that's where it came from.
Yeah.
And with that, the kid's actually going to pull down his structure so that if anything comes after us, they're going to have to dig.
Okay. Okay. It's like, I am not allowing you guys to screw this up. That's for me.
Yeah, by tomorrow morning, the snow will have covered any evidence that you guys were ever here. Alright, so, that happened.
What the fuck? Well, alright,
Yeah, alrighty then. So, unfortunately, we're still starving to death, and we'll probably have to try to do something about that.
yeah.
I mean, we do have that mead. That gives
What, you got mead?
Well, I do and I don't.
Give it here.
It's for an emergency.
It is an emergency. I need it.
It's for our last drink before death.
No, I need it right now.
No, you don't. Dargoth, you don't need it.
Man, I've gone how many days? 7 days without a drink? Come on, you gotta give it to me. Come on.
It's good for you.
Exactly, I need it.
No.
As you just barely see the bottle, he's kind of keeping it behind his back, but you see it, and it glows, for sure. It's so much fate has come together. You bear witness to whatever the fuck that was that happened outside. And here lies a piece of Gerdek in that bottle.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Come on, you gotta give it to me now, girl. It's in the bottle.
So, I think I'm going to snatch up this bottle and drink it, because then I am of Gerdek!
Dirt, it looks like he's thinking about drinking that ale.
I'm gonna start casting Spiritual Hammer.
What?
I must have it.
You
I
can have the
cannot let you
bottle.
drink Gerdek.
But if I am of Gerdek, if I drink the essence of Gerdek, then I will be a holy symbol of your faith, and you can't harm me.
No, you drink you drink the spirit of Gerdek. I shall hunt you down. I must have him.
You could always just, put him through the earth ritual. If he wants to become one of Gerdek.
An earth ritual?
Yeah, you remember the soft soil in the middle of those 4 stones?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the earth ritual.
I mean, turning someone into earth?
No.
It's special. Only those
Special.
chosen of Gerdek can know it. So, here you guys have a bottle of ale.
The liquid inside has Gerdek, right, Black?
The
No
whole
one's allowed to
construct.
drink it.
The whole construct.
Yeah, as in the bottle contains the essence, and the bottle must be special in order to contain such a wondrous essence.
Can't open that bottle.
Yeah, and you're a bit regretful that you can't drink the ale, of course, but it's clearly blessed.
Well, if we're about to die, then it's not going to matter anyway. I'll just drink it, and then he can... I was
advise you
wanting to
against
save
it.
it anyway. Here, I'll let you hold on to...
Yeah, you're messing with a crazy man.
I'll let you hold on to the bottle, and your bowl, and your glasses, and your pterodon head.
Come on, you can't drink Gerdek, man.
I might be NPCing Dargoth in a berserker rage here in a sec.
I'll
And he
hand over
does
the
have his
bottle.
spiritual hammer up. He called that a couple of rounds ago, so that's hanging out. Wah, 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 wah. His glowing hammer. Wah, wah, wah. Give me the beer. Suddenly it gets intense in the root cellar. I think maybe I'm going to go outside. No, I can't.
No, I can't.
Oh, I can't.
What's going to be your actions, Quinn?
I'm just gonna give it to him. I wasn't planning on drinking it in anyway. I was about to tell you guys it was for like last resort.
Drink it if you
Although,
die.
let's just be honest. Last resort is we eat the kid. So
What?
Okay.
Suddenly the kid wants a spiritual hammer.
Alright, I take the bottle from Quinn without any problems and desummon the spiritual hammer.
All right. So
You
now
have
you've
to
got your bottle of
desummon?
ale.
This is Gerdek. I must keep him safe.
And you cuddle up with it for the
I grab
night.
all the items of Gerdek and I
Just bathe yourself in the items of Gerdek. All right. You guys wake up the next day, feeling a bit hungry. Con checks, no minus. This is to see if you find yourself weakened from lack of nutrition throughout the day. Got it?
No, the power of Gerdek is keeping my will strong.
Hell yeah. And as for the kid, he's feeling okay. The stomach's a little grumbly, but I think I can still do stuff. Alright, and here you are. It's the next morning.
I'm going to meld the stone and go up to investigate.
Let's see. First day, second day. Today's the third day, right? Yeah. Because you ran out of food the day the storm started. Alright, so. Melding into the stone. Do you wish to go with him, Quinn, using your Ectoplasm? Yay, nay?
Yes.
Alright. Make your check while you're doing that. I'm just going to assume you guys get to the surface because you'll make your check eventually. It just how many PSPs is it going to take? Go ahead and make your rolls. Quinn. While you're doing that, you guys are up on the surface again. Noticing that the blizzard, the thunder, all that still persisting, and all signs that you guys are here at all is long gone.
And of that dragon?
You're going to head back that direction? Direction
Yeah.
sense. Otherwise you fall off course.
Direction sense. Night.
I can't. Oh wait.
Went off course.
You thought you were getting to the...
Ultimate didn't make my roll.
Alright. Nice.
So you just flip against the ground and, underneath.
Okay, so everything's going wrong.
Yeah, it's because we're hungry.
You're not even suffering any minuses yet. Can't blame the hunger. Alright, so first off, ectoplasm. Natural 20. It has more than just the book ramifications, but we'll see how bad it goes. All of your items have become ectoplasmic, but not you. On your first attempt. And all of your cold weather clothing, etc., fades from view, becoming ghost-like and insubstantial. That costs you 9 PSPs. To bring your items back, we'll take another successful power check.
I guess I'm the one just lost up here then.
No, he'll be lost with you here shortly once he figures out how to get everything. Con -4.
Check.
Yep, 14 or less.
Made it on a 13.
Alright, that brings your items back. Now you have your cold weather clothing, and you're not just standing there naked with nothing. Except for like ghost fog covering you. So all in all, you have used 18 PSPs so far. And it's going to cost you another 9 if you wish to go ectoplasmic to join dirt on the surface.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Alright, con -4. 14 or less. Alright. Finally pulls it off and you guys get lost. Alright. Con checks -2 due to the extreme cold. As you fumble around thinking you were at the place where the dragon was, not.
Got it.
Alright, and Quinn? Con, -2. Otherwise, cold. Mild hypothermia.
No.
Mild hypothermia, -2 on all everything. Any roll that you make, that kind of stuff, -2. Across the board.
Can I even find anything with a -2? I'm just saying.
I totally forgot what I was rolling for.
We're lost?
Yeah, you're definitely finding that you're not where you hoped you would be. You can either backtrack or try and find where you're trying to be, which would require another direction sense.
Yeah, I'll make that.
If you fail this one, you guys become hopelessly lost and may not even be able to find your way back to the shelter.
Bye bye, kid.
Made it?
Yep.
All right, you're pretty confident this time for sure that you're back where you think the mutilated dragon was. However, no dragon. You can still see just the last little bits of the symbol that was at one time on the ground. That's the only way that you know that you're in the right place, as well as the contours of the ground.
Okay. All right, let's search around here.
Yep, let's take a looky-loo.
All right, officially it's lightning strike time.
Oh.
So, 0-5 or less, and you get hit by nature's wrath. Dargoth, here we go. 87. No, just rumblings in the clouds above. Quinn, a 0-7. One comes really close. Really close. Close enough, blows out the rocks, etc. Had it hit you, it would have done 19d6 damage. And vaporized you, basically. Because even with a save, I think you would probably be dead.
Huh.
It'd do about 50 to 60 points of damage full. 30
Dang.
half-ish. So yeah, natural lightning can be very bad. Alright, so that almost happened.
Wouldn't he be able to contain it?
He could try.
Containment?
Yeah, he could definitely try it. If he made it, he'd glow for
For a long ass time.
yeah.
Ooh, could I do that?
He'd glow for like 10 hours. So, no lightning hits you guys. No evidence of anything that you saw the other day in this place. And you spent half the day lost and the other half of the day finding your way back to here. From here, it's no check required to get back to your shelter. No chance of scavenging or foraging. Unless you want to wait till after dark. That would require another direction sense, and you could get very lost.
Yeah, no, let's head back. Be on the safe side.
Alright, you use your meld with stone after digging a hole in the snow to get down to the ground. Quinn, you're going to have to go ectoplasmic again. That's con -4, so you need a 14 or less, I think.
But that's
Plus
how I
is
roll.
-2 for his hypothermia.
Oh, yeah.
Ah! Rolled a 13. Why'd you have to roll?
Yeah, and then with the -2, that's a 15 that's failure. You have all your
actually,
PSPs. This is more or less just an unnecessary technicality. So, I don't see you guys getting into combat this day, so we'll just give it to you this time, Vasco. You eventually go ectoplasmic and join dirt down in the root cellar below. The kid is constructing stickmen out of the various debris and whatnot laying around, because he has nothing better to do at this moment that I know of. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm just keeping the fire going. Keep carrying the fire. Last day of the storm is the next day, day 4. Con checks, -1. Or you suffer from the hunger weakness.
On check -1. Alright.
Nope, didn't make it today.
Uh-oh. Good thing is you got warm enough to get rid of your hypothermia last night, so that doesn't count anymore. But now you're at -2 across the board from hunger.
Got it.
Con 16. So I'm trying to get a 14 or less. Kid got it on the number. Alright, so Vasco's starting to get the serious hunger.
Got that serious hunger?
Mm-hmm. starting to affect him. I said you're on the -2 across the board there. Or, I'm sorry, it's -1, your first failure. And then it's just cumulative from there. Alright. Moving right along. What are you guys going to do? This is, in theory, the last day of the storm, according to Dirt's Weather Sense.
And I'm guessing that I'm like recovering PSPs overnight.
Well, yeah, of course. You're at full unless otherwise told or something else happens.
Is it? I mean, last day of the storm, we're starving and stuff. We want to try ectoplasmic form, or we want to do it again, or do you think it's even worth it?
Honestly, let's look around the... completely look around the...
Let's search this barracks real hardcore. How about that?
You guys already did a lot
Yeah.
of that. Yeah, you guys
Oh,
already
yeah.
did that. You spent a good portion of the day doing that.
What about the building that's fallen to ruin?
Those are attached buildings. You searched all of the above. Yeah, it's a barracks with a little guard tower attached. All
Alright, let's go
gutted.
back up.
No roof
we
even.
we gotta find food for you.
Gonna go for the scavenging? Con -2 because of the cold. As you guys head on out. First half of the day. Horrible storm.
Okay, that was weird.
Alright.
That wasn't our roll.
Looks like you got the thermia there.
Huh?
You got the thermia.
Yeah, did you just roll at 20 over here?
Yeah, but it was weird. It like stopped in mid-air and then landed on 20.
Oh, roll it again. I always double flip, yeah. There you go. Alright. Looks like you made it. Con -2, which is actually -3 for you because you've got the hunger. So con -3, Basco, against the bitter cold as you go out scavenging.
Hey, that's better than -4. I'll roll my dice instead of the evil red dice. Made it!
Alright. Direction sense to not get lost. Which would basically waste your day. Made it. Alright. So, lightning strike time. Thunder
What?
snow continues.
Okay.
That was you, Dargoth? This is you, Quinn? No, nothing even close. Just distant rumblings in the clouds. But the storm's letting up. Roll a d10. If you guys get a 1, you find something. Quinn.
Oh, okay. I get to roll too. Haha. Well, that kind of didn't roll, but...
That's a cock die too.
Yeah, just throw it to the
well.
tower.
One.
You got it.
I
Yes,
actually
he
rolled something I
did.
needed to roll.
Alright. Hell, I don't even really know what's above Timberline. You find a small little burrow. Appears as if there's a mountain goat taking shelter in it. It's initiative. It's going to try and run for it.
Oh, and it's gonna try and... Well, I mean... Ew.
It adds 2 to its initiative. What are you guys doing? As you basically dig away some snow, you see it, it sees you, it's going to try and bolt.
I'm gonna pull out my longbow or short bow, and that guy's about to be dead.
Alright, you'll probably get 1 shot before it disappears into the fog. What are you going to do, Dirt?
I
Try to grab him. Oh no, don't do that. I'm shooting at him. Spiritual hammer.
I mean, how
By the
close
time
are
you
we to it?
yeah, about 10 feet. It's in a
10
small
feet.
little crevice burrow that you uncovered by shifting some snow. And it's going to pop up to its feet and get the fuck out.
I'm also gonna do adrenaline control to help my shot.
I got nothing.
Do you
It's
do
gonna take a
anything?
turn. It's gonna take a turn for me to cast anything anyway. So
Can you just try to
So you just stand there?
swing at
I'm
it?
gonna
It's in a
chase it.
burrow.
Jump on it.
Try and jump on him? Alright.
Yeah.
Roll initiative. Add your speed factor for your weapon there, Quinn. Dirt, you add 2. Because you're just using innate body stuff. It also adds 2. So I got a 4.
No matter what, I fail
Roger.
because it's a 7.
Alright, and Dirt. You have a chance to jump on it. If you get a 2 or less on the dice. You tie it.
Oh, dude. So I got an 8. That's the lowest I could roll, and I still fail.
Its armor class is 6, Dirt.
Okay.
It's going to try and parry, taking its armor class down to 2. Parrying meaning it's just going to try and bounce off a wall and get around you. So its armor class is 2, so you use your base Thaco.
Base Thaco is 16.
Alright? Oh, you have a
14.
-3 hit probability because of your strength. We've been forgetting about that. We'll get around to that. We'll fix that a little later.
Okay.
Alright, so 16, 14, 14 or better.
14 or better. Jeez,
Yeah.
Okay.
Base
I'm
Thaco
not using-
16. Its armor class is 2 with the parry.
Yes.
Alright, so you managed to grab onto the thing. You're going to have to make a strength check there
Oh my god.
to hold it. Sorry, that's how it is. Oof. Give you a +2 bonus because of footing and you're a little bit bigger than the thing. So, 4 or less.
+2, it's 5 or less.
Oh, you're right. 5 or less. Hey, you got it. It's 1 out of 5. It's not such bad odds. No. Alright, so it easily just kind of kicks you aside. And off it goes into the fog. Quinn, you get 1 shot.
Can I do my adrenaline control?
That would be 1 attack and it would disappear in the fog. You get 1 shot.
Oh, so the mind stuff doesn't count? Okay.
You get 1 its armor class is 6. Taking it or losing it. 3.
My Thaco
2.
is, so I need 11. Oh, taking the shot. I need 11 or lower?
More. 11 or more.
11 or more. Come on! Die, goat, die!
Miss. Subtract the arrow as it goes off into Never Never Land, along with the goat who disappears. Into the fog. So close. It's late in the day. You could try and track the thing. That's going to require another Constitution check, 2 more direction senses, 1 to follow the thing, 1 to get back home after the wind blows away all your tracks. And at best, you'll probably end up getting maybe 1 more attack on it if you can be sneaky. Because you're going to have to track it till it tires. Across pretty rough terrain. It is a goat, mountain goat. It's your choice. Make it now.
The storm's over tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. And you'll be above fog lines, so you might be able to see something in the distance.
I would almost say...
Gotta make that choice. Things get further away every second. And...
let's let it go.
Gone. Beast gone. It's not an issue for you to make your way back to the shelter from here. That was the first half of the day, wasn't it?
Yep.
It was. Second half of the day, you can make a direction sense, make the Constitution checks, and get another chance to forage something out. You're lost.
Got it.
Oh, you made it. You don't have a minus yet, right? From starvation or cold? Okay. And... Con checks -2, the cold. Neither of you have hypothermia at the moment.
Good.
You are at -1 because of hunger-ish.
Still
made it. Good. All's good. Alright, guys are getting used to the cold. This ain't nothing. It's balmy and warm compared to yesterday.
I was born in the cold. I got this.
It's not as cold as the heart of my mother, Dirt says.
At least the frost giants were cold enough to let me live with them.
Yeah, maybe that's where you got used to it, as they poured
No,
buckets
it's
of water on you. You gotta be used to the cold, little man. Live with us. Standing under a waterfall, this sucks. Still better than being at the home. All right. So with that said, where were we? Oh, it was time for you guys make your scavenging check.
All right.
Oh, well, officially it's lightning time, but yeah, I can do that right now. 5% chance. Dirt? Nothing.
Nope.
Quinn? Nothing. Not even close. Just rumblings in the clouds. All right. Be glad you're not around trees, but also be unhappy that you're up high, because it kind of makes you guys a little bit more of a target. D10. On a 1, you find something.
We rolled a 1 and it did 7.
Hey.
Dirt digs something up. All right. Under an overhang, it's the same damn goat. What are you going to do? You get one action.
Me?
You
shoot
and
it.
Quinn.
How
Quinn
far
whips
away
up the
is it
bow.
from me?
About 15, 20 feet. It's about as far as you can see in the fog. And the snow and all that other good stuff. So as you guys come up to an overhang, you see it. You're not quite sure if it's the same damn goat, but close enough. What are you going to do? 10, 9.
I'm gonna let Quinn shoot it, and then
gonna shoot it.
if he fails, I'm gonna chase it.
Try and jump on him. All right.
Yeah.
It's
Actually, wait.
initiative.
Initiative first.
Mm-hmm. Add your speed factor, Quinn. I got a 5, 6, 7.
Why? There's no way I can beat him because my speed factor is 7.
This is true. So I did give you one parting shot, and that's the way it is. Basically, it's going to take him at least an action to kind of get out of shooting range. So you get one shot. His armor class.
Hey, I can jump on him.
Armor class versus you, Dirt, would be 2. Armor class versus Quinn would be somewhere right around 4-ish. Wind,
So,
visibility. And again, it's just trying to use its attack to jump free of you, Dirt.
Hey.
Why do we get so many weird cocked eyes these days? Try it again.
Not gonna
Not
get
sure
it
how
this
that
time.
happens. That definitely is not a hit. Quinn.
All right, 11 or better. I'm about to destroy this goat. The
Gotta
rock
do it.
would help.
Miss. Subtract another arrow, as that one also goes sailing off into Never Never Land. The goat again escapes. That was the second half of the day. To push anywhere is to go in after dark and to get hopelessly lost. So after a day of unsuccessful hunting, you guys make your way back to the shelter. Ectoplasmic and stone milled back down in. And there you are in your... It's now pretty warm down there. The fire's been burning a few days. It's actually kind of snug. You guys have shoved aside some of the garbage and made a pretty nice little home of it, if you will.
So, let's go.
Whoops.
Fourth day.
The storm went for 4 days, so this would effectively be day 5.
We are about to eat.
I have to keep better track of time. Okay.
Popping off a kid leg.
Let's see.
Wait, what the hell are we doing?
I don't know. What are you doing?
Doesn't
You're hanging
the
out
kid
in the
have
cellar.
monster summoning? Why didn't we just summon a monster and fight it?
Because they disappear after a number of rounds.
But if we kill it,
It disappears after a number of rounds. The remains go back to where it came from.
oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a permanent summoning. It's a temporary
No,
thing.
but if it's that amount of rounds, we can grab the meat, cook it on the fire, and then eat it.
And then it disappears out of your stomach and goes back to where it came
okay.
from. Yeah, nope, sorry. Nice idea, though. Nice try. There are certain more lasting summonings that could be used for that, but monster summoning is not one of them. Alright, so we will probably cut here.
I should have dominated that goat, but it wouldn't have taken 2 actions to dominate it, would it?
It takes a full round to establish contact.
Right, so I wouldn't have been able to use it.
Well, you would have had contact, and then, depending on how far away he got, you can maintain contact on something you can't see. That's how Telebasco is possible.
Oh, if I'd actually made contact with him, and then I could dominate him and make him like run back towards us.
What the hell is this thing?
Alright, so we'll probably close the session here. The good news is now that the storm's over, one more day in the pass and then down to the King's Road. So you're thinking maybe 2 days?
So the King's Road, where will we be coming out at? Black, right at the Fortress of 10 Fields?
Yeah, so far you've been making your checks when necessary, so you guys are pretty much on track. The river is a valley far down below, because you guys are up high, taking the pass.
Right.
And that should drop you right next to 10 Fields. And on the King's Road.
Okay, so 10 Fields is is it like to keep?
You could basically say it's very similar to the keep, yes.
Okay, so
it's
we
an
can get food there.
old fortress, ancestral, been there a long time, privately owned. And there's a conglomerate of fields, farmsteads around it. 10 families with large ranches and farmsteads. And the fortress was once a garrison station of the king of the Lion.
Okay.
But with his fall, it basically fell under the control of the noble house when they appealed to King Reginald for the land grant.
Alright.
And it's a conglomeration. It's a aggregate, if you will. The controlling ranchers and farmers cooperate with the noble family. They get it all together, get the caravans, export, import. Yeah, it's basically a small commune or community.
So we will be able to buy food there. Alright, cool.
Yeah, should be able to. Remember, a lot of refugees going through, supplies in short demand, and guild law, meaning everything's more expensive. Especially food. Alright. But there should be something available there. And as Quinn said, if worse comes to worse, you can always eat the kid. So with that, let me close up this episode here. And I will just say, as always, that until next time, this is Permadeath Extraordinaire, loving y'all.